Well, silver's not gold. Lee's side had to beat us twice today, and they did. First game, we made a couple errors. I think you made an error too, didn't you? Yeah, you did on that throw to first base from third, yeah. I made a couple of errors in the first game, and they won. They won, what was it, 10-7 the first game? The second game of that series was probably the best, well, not that I watch a lot of 11-year-old baseball, but it was very, very good baseball. Back and forth, back and forth. Lee's side took the lead 4-1 in the second inning. Bottom of the fourth, you come up, men on first and second, I think, and Ollie hits a triple down the line. It's 4-3, then he scores, they tie it up 4-4. They go ahead 5-4, Guelph does. They're in the top of the seventh. Ollie gasses the first two. They bring him in to pitch. He hasn't pitched in 2 weeks. Bring him in to pitch. For those of you that follow Little League baseball at all, through us or just in general, maybe you have grandchildren or children in baseball yourself, you know that they're all on a pitch count, right? So all our best pitchers have been used up. Not that Ollie's not a good pitcher, but he's our best third baseman.
Well, I mean, he said that he saved me for that moment.
Yeah, well, sure he did. So he brings Ollie in. Game's on the line. Ollie retires the side, top of the sixth. We come up, we don't score any. He comes back out, top of the seventh, gasses the first two. 2 strikes on the next batter. And what do you get, a single?
Yeah.
No, he got a double down the line.
Oh, yeah.
Double down the line. They were down to their last strike. He got a double down the line. I think you walked the next kid.
Yeah, and then he stole one.
And then the kid stole third. Yeah.
And then a single that I should have blocked.
No, you shouldn't have. You did the right thing. So they stole third base. Now in Little League, when you're on third, up by a run, they're just going to give you second base. The kid trots up to second. Ollie gets the next kid. 2 strikes. 2-2. 2 out. Season. Everything, game on the line. He threw a perfect pitch, by the way. And the kid belts it up the middle. Now, Ollie said he could have blocked it, but you know, as a pitcher, you think you can, but unless you can make that play, 100%, you have to let it go. You're assuming that your infielders are going to get it. Well, they're playing in a normal position. Goes right through the infield. 2 kids score. They take the lead 7-6. I know you're upset, but what you did next was very important. You're heartbroken. I know you were crying a little bit, but then you come right back and threw 3 out of 4 strikes and set the last kid down. Win the dugout. It's the bottom part of the order. 3 up, 3 down. Game's over. Guelph loses. It was very hard to watch, I know. Your mom couldn't even watch when you were pitching. She was hiding in behind the bleachers. But I liked the way that you handled yourself. One, when you made the error in the first game, you guys knew that you had another game to play. You knew that you had another game to play. And you come out and your team played perfect. Your team played great. And as I said to all, and I'm not making excuses. The other team beat you fair and square. If you guys had to come out in the bottom of 7 and score 2 runs, you're the best team, right? But you didn't. You couldn't. It's just the way it went. And the tough thing about baseball is it does teach you some of these things in life, right? You don't always get to win. There's not always a Cinderella story. There's not always high fives waiting at the end of the game. Sometimes reality creeps in and you lose. But it's what you do when you're losing and what you do when you lose that's important. And as all the kids, as you can imagine, were crying, of course. 11-year-old boys. You were smart about it. You were professional. I watched you shake the hands of every kid out there. Something I probably wouldn't have done when I was your age. But what you did on the mound when they took the lead, that right there crushes a lot of people. And you didn't do anything wrong. I was really worried that you would come unglued. You hadn't pitched in 2 weeks. And truthfully speaking, you're our third baseman. You don't pitch a lot. I'd love to see you pitch. I love watching you pitch. But you don't get a chance to pitch a lot because you're at third. They brought you in the highest leverage position. You sat down the order the last two batters you had to face in the top of the sixth. Top of the seventh, you come out, you gas the two of them. Kid gets a little blooper into the left field corner and gets a double. The next kid walks. He steals, and he steals. Now you're in a just about as stressful situation as you can be, and then the worst happens. You give up a single. You're losing the game. There's tears in your eyes. The next kid comes up, and you did what is the most important thing. You put it all away, and you finish the game. And that is a very, very tough thing to do. It's a tough thing to ask, and it is a very, very tough thing to do. And I was very proud of you. So, there's not really a sugary spin to put on a devastating loss like that. But, as I had said to the coaches, if there's any solace, it is that Guelph has 35,000 people in it. We draw our select team from that pool. Leaside, that's Toronto. There's 5 times that minimum. So 5 times the families, 5 times the kids that try out for the team. And I'm not trying to say, well, they have better. It wasn't the Oakland A's against the New York Yankees. It wasn't that. We have one of the best teams in Ontario. The second best team as of today. But you guys are a much smaller fish in the entire pond of Ontario, in all of Lake Ontario. And you have certainly nothing to be ashamed of. But I was proud of how you dealt with adversity and how you dealt with loss. And I know you think you should have blocked that ball. You did the right thing, which is incredibly hard to do, is let the ball go by. Because what happens in a lot of the places, you try to block the ball, it ricochets off your leg into the dugout if you're really unlucky, or into the outfield, and then those 2 runs score anyway. Now you blame yourself forever. You did the right thing. You did the toughest thing, was to let the ball go by. And it was a rocket. It's not like he could have reached down and grabbed it. Ozzie Smith couldn't have caught that ball. You don't know who he is, but he's an incredible player. He was when I was a kid. So I was proud of the way you pitched. I was proud of the way you played. I was proud of the way you were able to turn the page quickly, because that right there, in life in general, is a very, very difficult thing to do. So good for you. Now, unfortunately, as Ricky Bobby says, if you're not first, you're last. But you've got a good second. You get to go back. You're going to play some football for the rest of the fall. You're going to play a little fall ball. You're going to try out for the Guelph Royals, he said. Is that official? Is that what you want to do? So Oliver McDonald is going to be taking his talents to the city of Guelph again in 2025. And we'll work on your batting and your pitching over the winter. Right? Now, that's 8 minutes about my boy. We're going to talk about Arson, who raced very, very good. I was trying to watch the replay, but I was at the border and it was going off and on. 4th and 48.3, not too shabby. Raced really, really well and is in good shape going into the final. Now, speed kills there in Lexington. If you can make speed and you can carry it, you're going to go big miles in Kentucky. Arson's been seeing some speed all year. He's raced well. He's paced sub 150 twice now. And although I don't think he can go out and just win in 48 next week, would it be super shocking if he did? No, probably not. And it's not next week, by the way. It's September the 15th. So I was proud of him, too, in defeat today. Tonight we have some Ontario horses that are going to be rolling in behind the gate. Brace for landing at 7:10, which is in a couple hours. Yo Mister and All Gas No Brakes are also tonight. Tomorrow we got a full slate of stake racing in Kentucky, in Ontario, and in Ohio. I think we have our best shots come in Ohio, then Ontario with Gaslight Hall. I hope he wins. And then Kentucky, we're going to try and pick up the pieces with our girls. Green Glitter's picked to win tomorrow, and I hope she does. Grand Slam Dio, Gymboree, and Rosetta need victories. Well, I don't think Grand Slam Dio can get in. Just interested to see how she does tomorrow. The other 2 filly need victories to get in the final. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Was it a fantastic day? No, we lost. But it was a good day. The weather was great. The ball was good. The kids played well. And now we're back to reality here. We're in the States. We're in Michigan. On our way back to Ohio. So with that, I hope if you were playing baseball, you won. But I hope you had a great weekend. Lots of racing coming up. We're going to be talking a little more in the coming weeks about the buckets. More particularly about the Ohio bucket. And that will be started, I guess, tomorrow morning. So with that, have a wonderful night. I will talk to you soon. Take care, and good luck to all my partners at the track.